Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's done it be all day. It's time to sacrifice some Toby. Oh yeah. So here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. I was going to bring you this a long time ago, and it's just been sitting in the waiting to be getting done bin with a bunch of other stuff. And today I thought I should probably get this one done because it's not going to be available that much longer. And right now I was just looking on a website that I searched and found. I have no ties to this site, but I found it for $19.97 on a place called Ammoterra, Ammoterra, if anybody's interested. And this is the Ace, the SOG Ace with the MAC-V multi-tool. So it's a little combo set, right? I used my trusted dusty off-grid Scorpion to open it up. And this is the knife. Now, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with SOG. I generally hate most of their knives, but I love the way they work. I know it's weird, but sometimes they just, there's something. It's either the shape, that weird thing they have going in the spine, or it's just materials like, I'll get into this one. But there's always something about a SOG, usually, that makes me go, oh, if only they didn't do that. So they make me happy and sad at the same time. I'm trying to get this sheath out for you guys to see, and it's coming, it's almost there. So there we go. This might be the best part of the entire knife, even though it's an ACU, which is that Army grid thing. I freaking hate it. When we went from ACU to multicam, I said, thank the Lord. I hate ACU patterns. If you see digital camo, just not a fan at all. Especially having to wear it and use it. No. I was going to look up all the specs to this knife, but lo and behold, they're all right there. So you have your blade length, 3.8, blah, blah, blah. You have your steel and all that. So this is what it is. Then you have your little multi-tool thing right here, and look at that, it even has all the specs for that. So at least that's cool. It tells you what's what. It's got a little Ranger medallion on there, a little Ranger skull. So this was one that I got. It says Cabela's exclusive, Bass Pro Shops, but I literally just found the same set on Ammoterra. So you can probably get the knife aside from the tool, or the tool aside from the knife. But apparently the set was for these guys, but now I just found it somewhere else, so don't even worry about that. Let's look at the little guy first, and I notice it does have a knife sharpener right there. Are they the greatest knife sharpeners in the world? No. Do you want to put them to your $600 blades? Not really. However, if you are in a jam, if you are in a survival situation and you need a sharp blade, it's better than rubbing it on a rock in a river. I guarantee it. That'll definitely work. Now, generally, SOG comes crazy sharp out of the box. Is this one? Well, I have to say, I'm trying. Let's see. I think I'm pulling up some stuff. It's not as sharp. It's pulling the hairs though. It's not barely. It's not as sharp as some of the other ones I've pulled out of the box. It's kind of crazy. As far as shave sharp, I mean, it's knocking down some hairs. I had to go over it over and over again. Who knows? Maybe that's where this little guy comes in. Listen to the sound. Oh God, you don't want that sound really on your knife, but in a survival situation, that will work. Is it cut the package sharp? Yeah, pretty much. Cut through the plastic part sharp. Yeah, it's going to do all that. So, I mean, it's not dull by any means. This is still, you give it to your 3-year-old, and now your 3-year-old has 9 fingers. It's that kind of sharp, but not like some of the others. Let's get into the handle. The handle, ergonomically, isn't so bad, right? You got a nice little choil finger well right here. You've got a decent 3-finger grip in the rear. You have a choil up front, and I have to say that the choiled grip is more comfortable than the standard grip. It does have a lanyard hole. The tang, I'm guessing, is a stick tang. You can see that it comes all the way through here. And then right here, I'm assuming it just breaks a little bit. So it might be a full hidden. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't think it's that bad of a tang. So, I don't know. It's stone washed. The blade itself, if you took away that, blade's a nice looking blade. I like that, right? Look at that. Nice little stone wash going on. It's got some really nice non-aggressive jimping. Not so bad. These have their place, I guess. You know what I mean? Anti-shock or blah, blah, blah. But there's something about a cheap rubber grip that I don't like. There, you have some good ones. Steel will. You can get a steel will with a rubber grip. That's amazing. But some of them are just cheap, and you can tell by the seams and all that. Not so good. So before we go out, I have to show you. I was sitting here yesterday, and I was messing around with something that I don't know where it is. That's the remote under my butt. Oh, right here. I was messing around with this guy, right? Because I hate it. I hate it. This thing, and what's sad about me hating this is I love a Chris style blade. I used to have this king sword that was beautiful, and I gave it to a friend's kid because he really loved it. But it was just this badass, beautiful Chris sword, and I've always been a fan of the Chris blade. They're great slashers, this and that. Cold Steel really dropped the ball on this. I mean, dull as dull can be out of the box. It's just, it doesn't really have too much of a purpose. I don't like the way they finish the tip going toward the edge rather than away from it. I mean, they just could have done so much more. But this is a dagger. Normally, when you see a Chris, it's either a dagger or a sword, right? And I started thinking, how cool would it be to have a Chris Bowie? So last night I took my tape measure and I drew 15 inches or 15 and a quarter long and about 2.5, 2.25 deep. I made like a little grid on this cardboard box. I had to mail something to Scab, and it was an odd fit, so I cut this box apart. But I used that. How cool would that be? How kind of cool would that be? I just sat here and I drew myself what I thought would be a really cool Chris Bowie. And I ended the Chris early, so you only have 3 up top, 2 at the bottom. It would be 3 at the bottom, really, because the clip point would kind of make one really big one. But I thought that would be kind of bad looking. So I don't know. I might have to hold on to that design. I did it up on the computer. What I did is I drew it there, took a picture of it because I wanted it to be spec, because I drew that to spec. And then let's see. I took the photo and I had to erase everything out of the photo except the exterior lines of the blade, and then I just did that to it. So I was thinking like a cool linen micarta would be really nice on that, but that's where I was going. Anyway, I just wanted to show you like a stupid little thing I was working on last night that I think would be really, really kind of badass. As far as this, let's find out. Oh, we didn't even go over the sheath. So you saw that thing has a little sharpener and all that, and I started thinking to myself, okay, so the sheath, it must somehow connect to the sheath, right? And it's got this little bottle opening tab right here. And I thought maybe there's something on the sheath that the bottle tab would slide into, and this would sit flush against the sheath. So when you need it, you just pop it out. What a missed opportunity. The sheath does not have that. It does have a belt loop that's on and off the belt without having to remove anything. That's a good belt loop. They do have I think it's supposed to be some kind of cord ripper. I have no idea. It doesn't look like. Oh, wait. Okay, so there you go. So once the blade is in there, now you have a ripper. Didn't even think about that at first. I'm trying to think if I have something I could rip. I don't have a piece of cord near me, but well, that didn't work out very well. But anyway, like if you had cordage or line that you needed to cut, that would be good. there's just not much about this whole package that I really like. It's got the weight there. If you have a loose belt, it's going to be all over the place. So you really have to tighten your belt to make that sit right. I don't know. This should be mounting to this. It would have made it so much better. It just doesn't. Fail. I don't know. It's SOG. You know, SOG impresses me very little sometimes. But who knows? It might work. Let's find out. All right, so we got some overcast, but you can at least see it in some better lighting. I think less lighting was better because it really showed off the blade. But let's take it over to the old fallen apart stump. Time for a new one, I think. I have a whole stack of them over there, so I might just have to adopt one of those. But we'll take it over here and we will see what this thing will do. And I have no idea. I have no doubt, I should say, that it's going to cut. I mean, it's a knife. It's a knife with a knife's edge. So it should at least do something. It's even got the little, I just noticed, the little Ranger skull on the back. Let's do some 4-foot drops and we will see the balance from tip to, woo, that's leaning, from tip to stump, 4 feet drops. So you can see that the rubber handle definitely, especially, you know, length to blade, really outweighs the blade. The best way to combat that would have been if they took this little choil and extended it and given you a wider blade. Then all of a sudden, now you go from, looks like a plus 1.5, I'm guesstimating, in the POB. Ugh, that's not very good. All right, let's do some hard downward throws. Ugh. I don't have to worry about scales loosening, so we're really checking the bite and the tip. The bite, pretty good. The stump is soaked though, so I mean, it is going through pretty easily, but it still went in about 1.5 inches. Not too bad. Let's try a push cut on the nylon rope without sawing, just pushing. All right, guys. I'm a big, strong dude. I'm 240 pounds. Ugh. There's no push cut. There's no push cut. Let's see if we can saw cut it though. Yeah. All right, so I guess I was right. It's not very sharp. Let's see if we can get through the extension cord. Ugh. No. It got through one of the wires, and that's it. Let's try 4 layers of rubber sheath. Guys, remember this is called the SOG Ace. Oh my God. Do you see that? Look, I'm bending it. I'm freaking forcing it, and it won't cut through the belt. This is brand new out of the package. I've never, ever used this knife before. So far, no good. All right, let's try some feathering. At least it should be able to do that. And it's doing that quite easily, quite well, quite no problem. SOG, if you're watching, send me a real knife. I'll tell you what. If you don't want your product to be seen this way, send me something that's going to work. Some pulls here. So as far as a feather sticking knife, all right, not so bad. Not so bad. Feathering, it's going to work. To make spears and tips for tent spikes and things like that. Anything for fishing, all right, it's going to work. Carving, it's going to work. So it's not sold super sharp, but here's the thing. If you know how to sharpen a knife, you can get it super sharp. It's not like it won't take an edge. It just didn't come with one. That, I'm not going to lie to you, is pretty disappointing. It's pretty disappointing because I thought to myself, all right, so it's got this awful rubber handle. It's kind of missed out on a few points that could have been better. It just, you know, hits and misses. And it seems like it has more misses than hits. But at least it's going to cut. At least it should be sharp now. All right, how's it as a skinner? Let's try and actually dig in. Ugh. Wow, I thought it was going to do better than that. All right, you know what? You know, people always say, oh, do you recommend this? Do you recommend this? I don't recommend this at all. I mean, I'm not going to continue showing it fail because it's not fair to the knife. Who knows? Maybe I bought a bad one. I mean, that's possible. Maybe one squeaked through without an edge. That happens with every single knife company. Every single knife company. Something can squeak by that's less than perfection. Let's see if it at least... see if at least it'll throw. Is the dog section over here. I gotta watch out for landmines. Hey-oh! Alright, so first try. So, I mean, you can wing it. You can wing it through the air. But for everything else, I have to say that I am not a fan of this knife, and I really was hoping coming out of the package that I was going to like it, because I've had so many negative experiences with SOG that I thought, and not even negative experience as far as use, just overall design. But to get one that the design finally starts to look okay, and then the function is off. It's like it went completely opposite. Normally I look at them, I go, oh, what an ugly knife. And then it works great. This is complete opposite. It's like, all right, this one's less ugly, you know what I mean? The only thing that's ugly is the handle. The rest of it, I mean, the blade looks really nice. And then it doesn't do its job. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. That's what I'm going to say. And that's not me saying that, you know, without testing the knife and just saying, oh, I don't like SOG, so this is bad. There's some SOG knives out there that I would love to try because they look awesome. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some out there that really look nice. I just haven't got a hold of them yet. This one, no. I'm not being a hater. You guys seen it. You guys seen it. It doesn't cut. It doesn't cut the way it should cut. And this is supposed to be some kind of like survival bushcraft knife. No way in hell. No freaking way in hell. So if you come across the SOG Ace, there's a good chance that it is not worth your money. Yeah. Well, that's it for that one, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed some fine knifing today, because that didn't happen. Anyway, that's it for me. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.